A terrible accident on Deadliest Catch has struck again, with the unforgiving Alaskan sea claiming another captain. Captain Jake Anderson is the latest to fall victim to these brutal waters, where every wave and gust of wind carries life-threatening danger. How many more brave souls will the sea take before the risks become impossible to ignore? We will explore the powerful story of a person who defied the seas and lost his life on Deadliest Catch. The fishermen might look like they're alone out there in the vast ocean, but that's not really true. The ocean is actually filled with lots of boats. While the show might make you think these men are all by themselves, they are in fact surrounded by hundreds of other boats, all hunting for crabs to make money. This tough competition for catching crabs isn't shown much on TV. Sig Hansen's time on the show demonstrates how someone famous can handle their public image well, keeping their personal and professional lives under control. This is quite different from Josh Harris, who sought fame without thinking of the consequences and ended up in legal troubles. Sig shows us the importance of being careful about how we handle our public image, especially when moving from a private life to being in the public eye. Before we dive deeper, the truth is far more complicated than it seems, and what we uncover next about these captains will leave you questioning everything. Sig Hansen and his dad, Sigurd, originally from Karmøy, Norway, moved to America in 1958 and started fishing for opilio crabs, also known as snow crabs, in the uncharted Bering Sea. Their groundbreaking work allowed them to fish all year and open new doors for themselves and other fishermen, making crab fishing seasons profitable. Their efforts have greatly improved the incomes of Sig and his fellow fishermen, particularly during the challenging opilio season. Over time, Deadliest Catch has grown into a show that features various crab seasons: the regular king crab season, the less common Berdi crab season, and the most perilous, the opilio crab season. The hardest part for the crew is the living conditions. The Discovery Channel sends 2 camera crews to live on the ships for 5 weeks. These crews share the same space and face the same hardships as the fishermen, with no chance to take a break. Unlike other reality show crews who can step away, those filming Deadliest Catch have to keep going for 6 months straight. Interestingly, the fishermen on Deadliest Catch don't deal with the same pressures as other fishermen. Typically, fishermen have limits on how much they can catch, which affects how much money they make. If they catch less than the limit, they earn less. But on Deadliest Catch, the main goal is to film the show. The fish they catch is just a bonus, so they can sell it for cheaper prices, which might upset other fishermen who rely on higher prices. Something that often gets overlooked by those not used to spending time at sea is how ship captains understand the moon's effect on ocean tides. During events like the supermoon, the gravitational pull makes tides higher and seas rougher. In 2018, during a supermoon, Jake Anderson described the sea as incredibly rough, and Wild Bill confessed his fear. Despite the dangers, that night ended safely, highlighting the unpredictable nature of such natural events. The changing climate adds another layer of challenge for the fishermen. As the waters off Alaska get warmer, crabs move to colder, deeper waters away from their usual spots. This forces the fishing boats to follow the crabs into more dangerous areas, raising the risk of accidents. These areas are far from any help, making any emergency more critical. Although these changes affect the show, the producers choose not to focus on the bigger environmental issues. Moreover, there's some doubt about how much of Deadliest Catch is real. Unlike traditional documentaries that capture events as they happen, Deadliest Catch sometimes has to reshoot scenes. The most dangerous scenes are captured live, but other scenes might need to be redone to meet the director's demand for a perfect shot. This raises questions about how genuine the show is. There are also claims that some of the drama is planned beforehand, similar to other reality shows, to make the show more engaging but perhaps less truthful. In Alaska and the Aleutian Islands during autumn, workers take on king crab fishing, a very risky but important job featured on Deadliest Catch. Despite facing harsh sea conditions, the money made by local Alaskan fishermen is surprisingly low. These crabs are sold all over the world, including big catches in Russian and international waters. Yet despite this international trade, the local workers from the recent season of the show made less than $7,000 each. Financial records from the Alaska Film Office show a clear difference in earnings between locals and outsiders. Workers from outside Alaska earned a total of $1.3 million, a stark contrast to the modest earnings of the local crew. This wage difference is seen between just 8 local crew members and 35 workers from outside, highlighting a significant wage gap. This shows the tough realities faced by those who work the seas off Alaska, battling not only the physical elements but also economic hardships. The financial support the state gives to the TV show Deadliest Catch shows how much the government backs these projects. In the latest season, the state gave around $691,000 in incentives to the producers. They reported spending about $285,000 on transportation and shipping within the state, and another $231,000 on food and lodging. Yet even with these big costs covered by state aid, local Alaskans earned only $44,000, while out-of-state workers took home $1.3 million in that season. The state's support even increased to $786,000. This situation takes place in an industry that's undergone big changes since 2005. That's when they switched to a catch-share system in crab fishing, which was supposed to make the industry safer and more regulated. Before this change, many boats would rush out during the short winter seasons to grab as many crabs as they could from the Bering Sea. The new system gives each boat a certain amount of crabs they're allowed to catch over a longer period, which has helped make things safer and cut down on competition. Since this shift, the physical dangers have somewhat decreased, with only one life lost compared to earlier high-risk conditions. However, the real fight now is with economic challenges. Local workers face the high-profile nature and adventurous portrayal of their jobs on international television, but these don't actually help improve their financial situations. The show draws viewers and profits, but the local fishermen whose lives and efforts are broadcast continue to struggle economically. This highlights a broader issue. The profits from displaying the tough lives of Alaskan crab fishermen mostly benefit people outside the community, leaving the actual fishermen with little. As the show continues to display the severe conditions and bold nature of crab fishing in Alaska, the underlying economic disparities stay mostly hidden, overshadowing the true story of those battling the cold winds and icy waters for minimal pay. Crab fishing in Alaska is notorious for being extremely dangerous, with a death rate 80 times higher than that of an average job. Reports suggest that one crab fisherman typically loses his life every week during peak fishing seasons. Despite this alarming statistic, there have been improvements in safety credited to changes in industry practices. Bill Proud, an experienced crab fisherman from Kodiak, points out these improvements, particularly the ability to choose safer weather for fishing, which has saved many lives. Lance Farr, who comes from a family of crab fishermen spanning 3 generations, also notices improvements, especially in managing sleep deprivation, which used to be a common issue. He attributes these positive changes to the Catch Share program, a regulatory measure aimed at making the profession safer. Cale Garcia, a longtime crabber, agrees, humorously noting that any remaining danger is mostly left for television dramatization. Even though the job seems safer now, the mix of danger and drama continues. The crab fishermen have also organized themselves into a formal group called the Alaska Bering Sea Crabbers. This association represents the interests of crab fisheries across the Bering Sea and Aleutian Islands, advocating for safety and sustainability. The organization plays a crucial role in fostering a safer working environment through advocacy and shared standards. The TV show Deadliest Catch has gained international fame depicting the lives of these crab fishermen. Interestingly, the show uses different voice actors for different regions to make the narration more relatable to international audiences. In the United States, Mike Rowe is the familiar voice of the series, while in the United Kingdom and Malaysia, viewers hear Bill Petrie and Nasser Balin, respectively. This strategy of using local voices helps connect the global audience more personally with the show. Filming Deadliest Catch is a formidable challenge. Cameras and other equipment are frequently damaged or destroyed by the harsh conditions at sea, including saltwater spray and strong winds. Each season, the production team sifts through about 30,000 hours of footage to craft the compelling episodes that audiences enjoy. The process of selecting the right moments involves immense effort from the crews and editors. In Deadliest Catch, there seems to be a formula. Each season needs a villain. The producers at Discovery Channel craft a storyline of good versus evil, even though all the fishermen are essentially after the same prize, crabs. This narrative choice directs viewers to favor certain characters while disliking others, adding drama to the real challenges of crab fishing. The directors carefully shape the storylines, sometimes asking the captains to reshoot scenes. While this might seem like manipulation, it keeps the audience glued to their screens. For example, the intense rivalry between Josh Harris and Casey McManus has made for great TV, pitting their team against the villains in the show. This has captivated viewers and increased the show's ratings. Other instances of manufactured drama include Wild Bill's near mutiny. By adding these elements, the show remains exciting even if the lines between reality and scripted scenes blur at times. Nevertheless, it doesn't take away from the fact that the Bering Sea's danger is ever present. Off camera, the drama can be just as intense. The crews of Deadliest Catch often face grueling conditions that test their limits. Injuries and fatigue are common, and the mental strain is overwhelming. One captain, Keith Colburn, shared how the job once left him with a broken back. Even the film crew, who are supposed to document the drama, sometimes become a part of it, risking life and limb alongside the fishermen. As Deadliest Catch continues to air, the real story is not just about who catches the most crabs or who is the toughest captain. It's a complex tale of a dangerous profession, an evolving industry, economic realities, and a television show that combines drama and truth in an unforgettable way. The courage and struggles of these fishermen, broadcast to millions around the world, are a testament to the human spirit. However, they also remind us that what we see on TV often only scratches the surface of the real lives these men lead. The true cost of catching those crabs goes beyond what the cameras capture.